till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Thanks for joining us this hour. I am Dinfemi Oguntoye, and here are the stories we're tracking this time. After initially snubbing the House of Representatives, the Inspector General of Police, Sulaiman Abba, finally showed up to appear before an investigative hearing on last Thursday's police action in the legislative complex. The session, however, ended abruptly because the police chief refused to recognize Aminu Tambuwal as Speaker of the House of Representatives. He also insisted that the men did not fire tear gas in the complex.
On the arrival of Alhaji Aminu Tambuwal,
I expect you to acknowledge Alhaji Aminu Waziri Tambuwal as the Speaker of this House, pending the interpretation of a judiciary which is settled by the Constitution of this country, for or otherwise.
I will not sit down and allow an appointee of another arm of government to disrespect the status and the office of the Mr. Speaker of the National Assembly. It's either the IGP is retracting that statement now, or I, as an individual, will have to take my leave, because that means this sitting is illegal.
You know too well, matters before the court are not commented upon. I believe it will be sub judice for me to comment on a matter that is before the court. Thank you.
Inspector General of Police was at the National Assembly. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, was meeting the National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, John Odigo, behind closed doors. The meeting, which was held at the party's National Secretariat, lasted about 30 minutes, and APC sources say it centered around strategies to scuttle alleged plans to impeach the Speaker. Tambuwal, however, refused to comment on the reason for the meeting with the APC chairman. The Senate has set up a 7-man committee to investigate the recent police invasion of the National Assembly after a unanimous condemnation of the action. The Senate President David Mark announced the composition of the committee and described what transpired as a breach of security and sanctity of the legislative complex. The committee is headed by Ahmed McAfee and includes Adebenga Kaka, Ehige Zamire, and Atiku Bagudu. Others are Victola and Jubrila Dudowo.
It all began with a motion raised by Senate leader Victor Ndoma Egba, and what followed could best be described as a non-partisan condemnation of the police action. It was the first time in recent history that senators will speak with one voice across party lines, with many describing the incident as a coup against democracy.
What happened last week at the National Assembly is a coup attempt by the Nigerian police against the parliament.
The incident of Thursday, the 20th of November 2014. I say so because I believe that what happened on that day was a major desecration of the sanctity of the presence of the National Assembly.
Some senators also insisted that a crime was committed when the police stormed the complex and would have preferred outright sanctions in place of an investigation.
Mr. President, on that very fateful day, I was at the gate. There were barricades. I was not thoroughly searched. I was allowed in.
Anybody
that has not been sworn to sit in this hallowed chamber and in the chamber of House of Reps is a stranger. A police officer that is even here is a stranger.
To correct and ensure that every other security personnel within the premises and precincts of the National Assembly is subject to and under the control of the Sergeant at Arms.
I once told you, or several times in private, that because you're an experienced person, very elderly, calm, you bend too much. And we, the young ones, are finding it very difficult now to follow you.
There were, however, a handful of senators who felt the police were doing their jobs on that day.
Instead of using the word condemn, I want to say it was an unfortunate development. Whatever happened that day was unfortunate.
At the end of the debate, the Senate President opted for a thorough investigation and announced a 7-member ad hoc committee.
I agree with you that we set up a committee. Is the price or the sacrifice, the price we have to pay for democracy, or the sacrifice we have to make for democracy? That is what I believe happened to me, and the Speaker has been in touch with me and I've been in touch with him.
Senator Mark did not set a time frame within which the panel will operate, but many senators are hopeful that its recommendations will not be swept under the carpet like previous ones.
The police high command says it will not downplay discipline among officers and men of the force. Inspector General of Police Sulaiman Abba made this known to senior police officers when the chairman of the Police Service Commission, Mike Okiro, paid him a courtesy visit in Abuja. Okiro had earlier said police personnel would be promoted as it went due, but stressed the need for them to be disciplined and professional in the discharge of their duties.
The IG and Police Service Commission are putting our heads together to see how can work it at such a way that this organization among officers have been around for upwards of 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, even more. Not at their own fault. They did their job very, very well. And we take into cognizance the complaints. So, in compliance with the mandate of the Police Service Commission, one of which is promotion, we are working on that. So please, tell the men they should do their work. And one thing is very definite. If you are coming for promotion, we will qualify for it. If you have a pending matter, this pending matter is not performed very well, so of course cannot benefit. So for them to benefit, of course, they must perform very well. So please talk with them. Let them realize that something is being done about their promotion.
You may recall His Excellency, Mr. President, has forwarded a bill to the Assembly with regards to the deduction of 1% from government earning, both at the federal and state level. Most of the governors have consented, and some of them have even started implementing this arrangement. I'm sure by the time this 1% deduction gets through, the issue of lack of funds with regards to the reform of the police will be a thing of the past. Let me also seize the opportunity to thank the chairman and members of the commission for living up to the expectations of all officers in the Nigeria Police with regards to the discharge of your mandate. Your mandate is very, very important to the Nigeria Police, and I want to particularly mention that your mandate with regards to promotion and discipline go a long way in assisting us, the management, in the administration and the management of our personnel.
The Ekiti state government has reiterated its commitment to the security of lives and property of its residents and promised to honor past leaders of the state, irrespective of political affiliations. Speaking at what was tagged former restoration of the entitlements of former Governor Shagoni, Ayefayoshe says his government will recognize leaders who have served the state at one time or the other without recourse to party or ideological differences. Rashid was there and fought in this report.
The judgment of Justice Issa Salami on the 15th of October 2010 actually put paid to the governorship reign of Shagoni in Ekiti State. In a brief symbolic ritual to make Oni rank among the officially recognized past governors of Ekiti State, Fayoshe says the law may hold otherwise, but in reality, Oni has truly ruled in Ekiti.
Today, formally, I'm acknowledging that Shagoni has contributed his quota. That remains a statement of fact. We can talk to each other any which way when we talk politics. But in issues of reality, you can't take away the roads, the policies of Shagoni, the roads, the goodwill, the few things he was able to achieve in his tenure. So for me, Shagoni is restored as governor that has served in this state.
Reacting to the security situation in the state due to the incessant cases of armed robbery, Fayoshe assures residents of adequate protection of lives and property as the government is working to nip insecurity in the bud.
Security situation is unfortunate, very sad. And we've met with the CP, with the other agencies, and we're working out how to fortify the state more. And we have to find time to identify with the dead and their families while we consolidate on the security challenges and improve on it.
The extension of this olive branch notwithstanding, APC lawmakers in the State House of Assembly have continued to spawn all entreaties to resume sitting. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
You're watching CoreTV News live from Lagos. We'll take a break now, and I'll be back with more stories. Don't go away.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome back. You can get all of our top stories on any of our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. Our Twitter handle is at CoreTV News NG. And also watch us live now on YouTube at youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space and news. The ancient city of Ibadan, one of Nigeria's hotbeds of politics, has in the last 1 week been engulfed by violent political crisis. In the aftermath of the skirmishes, accusing fingers have been pointed at different political directions as the harbinger of violence. One of the major political parties accused of sponsoring the mayhem, the All Progressives Congress in Oyo State, has denied allegations linking its members to the violence. Omotayo Alo monitors development in Ibadan and fought in this report.
The unfortunate thing is that the government that prides itself on peace, it is its own party that are now causing this crisis because it was happened during the meeting. And at the end of it, you know them very well. They will push it to the doorstep of the opponent because they will never accept there's anything wrong with them.
That was the Oyo State former governor and now a governorship aspirant on the platform of a court party, Rashid Ladoja, bemoaning the extent of damage caused by the violence. But for the state's APC chairman, Akinyoke, Ladoja's outcry could best be described as a cheap blackmail. He blamed the opposition for causing mayhem in the name of scoring political points, adding that the APC would not be a path to violence and disorder.
We could have encouraged and would have supported
any of our members, known members, serious members, officers of our party to encourage violence. We detest violence. We know what that violence means when we're in opposition. We know what we suffer. And I personally, coming from where I'm coming from, know what political violence is.
The Director of Publicity and Strategy of the ruling party, Olawale Shadari, had earlier stated that if any party should be questioned on the cause of violence and unrest, it should be the oppositions and not APC.
Those suspected to have been responsible for these violent acts were known thugs that has been sympathetic to the cause of the PDP and Accord party in the state as it were. When you mention names like Ekugbemi and another one, Omo Alaja, these people I do not know them. But if you go to areas like Okeado, Bonfoto, Idiarere, Molete, they will tell you that these people are the ones that actually caused the mayhem, and they are sympathizers of PDP and Accord party. Because I tell you, Accord is nothing but an appendage of the PDP.
The Oyo APC chairman also denied alleged links to political thugs by some party members being banded in some quarters.
As much as possible, the party is proud to say in the last 3.5 years we have enjoyed relative peace. And any of our members that we discover is prone to violence, party will deal with such officers.
The obvious fact remains that while no one and any political parties are ready to own up to being part of the mayhems that have left many lives and property destroyed, the people on the receiving end become the ultimate losers. Omotayualo, CoreTV News, Ibadan.
Meanwhile, the political violence that has gripped Ibadan, the Oyo state capital, does not spare the People's Democratic Party. The party's state congress, which held recently, was reportedly characterized by a free-for-all, which left many of its members with various degrees of injuries. The party's state secretariat has since been deserted as fear grows over another attack. In the midst of this development and the truncated state congress of the party, Oyo PDP's publicity secretary Kehinde Salao says there is no cause for alarm and promised a good showing at the 2015 general elections.
It's a political propaganda. There is no crisis in PDP. There's no crisis. In Oyo State, there is a crisis among their aspirants. PDP we have never started a campaign. We are preparing for our primaries. So if you are looking, if you are saying that there is a crisis of your state, there is starting in a party, you should look forward to the APC group.
He accused the APC of sending wrong signals to the electorate because it fears the increasing popularity of the PDP among the people.
We have an absolute chance to come back in 2015 because the present government they have disappointed the electorate. All their promises now are an empty promise. The traders, the market women, the workers, all sectors in your state, they are now suffering in the hand of the present government.
President Goodluck Jonathan on Wednesday appeared before a presidential screening committee of the People's Democratic Party. Jonathan, who was accompanied by Vice President Ahmed Sambo, was screened by a committee headed by former PDP chairman Amadou Ali. After the exercise, party spokesman Olisa Metu said the president's appearance was in line with the process leading to the primaries. He said the outcome of the screening will be known within 24 hours. There seems to be no political party in Nigeria presently without a crisis. The means of resolving internal conflicts within the parties, however, varies from one party to another. For the Labour Party, internal wranglings within its fold would not affect its chances at the 2015 general elections. So says the organizing secretary of the party in Lagos, Femi Inofe. He vows that the party will come out in full force and produce good leadership at all levels. He also dissociates the party from the comment of its national chairman, Dan Wanyawu, that the party will support President Goodluck Jonathan's bid for a second term.
Labour is maybe better prepared than other political parties because the party is preparing on two pedestals. And yeah, like every other political party, there are problems, there are issues. But we know that when resolved, the party is coming out much stronger, much more formidable. That some people have appointed to do mischief does not factionalize the party. Daniel Wanyawu was speaking for himself. The National Working Committee never discussed the endorsements of Jonathan Goodluck. The National Executive Committee never discussed the endorsement of Jonathan Goodluck. So if Daniel Wanyawu was speaking as Daniel Wanyawu, he was speaking for himself. You know, the party never sat down to say we are endorsing or adopting any particular person for presidency. Nigeria's democracy is only going to get better. Charlatans will soon disappear.
As the 2015 general elections approach, Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola has called on the electorate to summon the courage to sack any non-performing administration. Fashola made the call at the commissioning of the Agege transfer loading station. Abiola Oluwole was there. His report is presented from our studios.
The commissioning of the transfer loading station is part of efforts of Lagos State government to rid the entire metropolis of filth. Fashola, who admitted the adoption of successful strategies from developed countries, has assisted in the accomplishments of a clean Lagos, says sacking non-performing administration through the ballot box is the only way to record more progress in the country.
I will continue to emphasize that any public officer who makes promises to you does so as a matter of honor and duty. Any political party that does so as a matter of honor and duty. And they must give you explanations why they did not keep those promises. And if you are not satisfied with those explanations, you must ask them to leave by your votes. This is what the social contract is all about.
The governor also commissioned a resettlement center in Igodun area of the state. After handing over the camp, which has a capacity of housing 1,600 internally displaced persons, Fashola maintained that the center is aimed at taking succor to the people in time of disaster.
We will continue to do our best as a government to prevent accidents from happening, to prevent disasters from happening. But in the history of human life, disasters will happen. What do we do when people are displaced?
The day climaxed with the commissioning of Lagos Skipper Engineering Academy, a collaborative effort between Lagos Eco Project and the State Electricity Board in Ikotun. The academy is designed to train technicians in the state.
From outside Nigeria is next after this break. Don't go away.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Crowds have rallied across the United States to protest against Monday's decision not to charge a policeman over the killing of black teen Michael Brown. Demonstrations from New York to Seattle were mostly peaceful, but rioting broke out in Oakland, California. In and around the St. Louis suburb of Ferguson, scene of major riots on Monday, 2,200 National Guard troops were deployed to stop further unrest. The white officer who killed Brown says he has a clear conscience. Darren Wilson shot the 18-year-old on 9 August, sparking weeks of unrest in the Missouri town. Many in Ferguson's predominantly African-American community have called for the officer to be charged with murder. But the grand jury's decision means the police officer will not face state criminal charges over the shooting. Lawyers from Brown's family denounced the grand jury's decision as unfair, while condemning the violence that followed the decision. Protesters carried signs saying Black Lives Matter. They chanted "Hands up, don't shoot," a reference to claims by some witnesses that Brown had his hands raised when he was shot. In Oakland, in the San Francisco Bay Area, rioters vandalized police cars and businesses in the center during a second night of unrest in the port city of about 406,000 people. And that wraps it this hour in CoreTV News. Do join us again at the top of the hour for more stories. I'm Nifemi Oguntoye. Thanks for being there.